Hi there, welcome to my channel. My name is Angel, in case you're new here. I wanted to do a quick video today to just do a wrap up for the month of February. I did film 2.5 vlogs, one of which is just not gonna go up because I DNF'd basically every book in the video, mostly just because we'll get to that in a moment. So I'm gonna just go through the list of books that I read. Some of them I'm not gonna give you my full thoughts on because I do have a vlog up or a vlog that is scheduled to go up about them. So you'll just have to figure that out. You're gonna have to either stalk me on Goodreads or just wait for a different vlog that's not out to be out. So we're just gonna start at the top of my stack. Wildfire, this is part of my reading only romance vlog. This is about a character named Russ who is going to be working at a summer camp, and he has a quick one-night stand with a woman who is going to the same college as him, but it kind of like there's a weird miscommunication and they end up both being counselors at the summer camp and something blooms from there. But I did give this book a 5 out of 5 stars. If you're interested for more thoughts, just go check that video out. Next, mostly just because it's in the pile, I don't really have a lot of thoughts on this one, but this was Spiritual Police Volume 1. This is a BL manga that Jose got for me kind of as a joke, and then I was just genuinely curious. This is about a police officer who is recommended to go to this I think it was like a spiritual guidance kind of counselor, like love at first sight kind of thing, but it's a little weird. It's very circuitous and paranormal, and I'll be honest, I didn't really enjoy it very much because of the insta love aspect, and I gave this one a 3 out of 5 stars because like the artwork was fine, the story was okay, but it just wasn't something that would really draw me in for more than a volume. I also got to pick up another book in the series that I never hear anybody talk about. Not that I look for a lot of manga reviews, but Night of the Living Cat Volume 3. I think I read the first volume in my cat manga vlog a little while ago, and I really like the series still. It's about a world in which the apocalypse has happened, but how it happens is that for some reason when cats touch you, you turn into a cat, and so everyone is progressively being turned into cats. A lot of the characters you get introduced to just become cats. But I did give this one a 4 out of 5 stars because I really enjoy the concept still, and while it is kind of like you're still going with a long, I'm assuming it's gonna be a long series, I feel like it's coming up with new plot points. But I will say the first one in the series is still my favorite. Starter Villain by John Scalzi. I gave this book a 5 out of 5 stars. It is about a man whose estranged uncle passes away, and he is the main character is then left his business and a lot of the things that he was responsible for, and his uncle was a supervillain, which seems very silly and cliche, but the main character kind of is lost in it with you as the reader. There are talking cats, and I feel like it was a lot more fun than I anticipated. And it also talks about if you can be a supervillain, can you still be like good or like unevil? So I found it very interesting and it was really funny, but you'll have to wait to go check out the video, the vlog. If it's already come out, then it will be linked down below. The next one here I have is Boys Weekend. This is a book about a trans character who has been invited to their college or high school best friend's bachelor weekend, and it's going to be in Vegas. However, the friend does not use the correct pronouns with our main character, and you're seeing a bit of a battle where they're trying to show how they want to identify, but nobody is quite identifying them correctly. And so the twist here is that it has a bit of a paranormal aspect. I had a lot of fun with it, and I feel like it does talk a lot about gender roles and trying to get your friends or just close people to actually notice you and notice who you want to be and who you are. So I found it very interesting, and I gave this one a 5 stars. The next one was part of another vlog that had the Starter Villain book in it, and I read You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight, and this is by Kalynn Bayron, and this is by the same author who did Cinderella is Dead, which I had some mixed feelings about a few years ago, but I gave this one a 5 out of 5 stars. I feel like it was really fun, and if you want more of my thoughts on it, please go check out the vlog. This is about a girl who works at a camp where they host these horror nights, and so you can basically reenact a horror movie, kind of like Camp Crystal Lake and stuff like that. As part of the romance vlog I did last month, I also read Raiders of the Lost Heart by Segura. This one I only gave a 3 out of 5 stars. This is about a woman who is going to Mexico so that she can hopefully uncover what are the remains of a Aztec warrior who is her ancestor. I also read Clementine Book Two, which, if you're unfamiliar, this is a spin-off of the Walking Dead series and video game. It's a character that was exclusive to the video game. I didn't like this one nearly as much as I liked the first one, and that might be because this one didn't have as much action in it, but I still really enjoyed the queer rep, the disability rep, because our main character is she only has 1 foot, so she has a mobility aid, and I just thought that this one moved a lot slower, which, I mean, if you're thinking about it in the terms of The Walking Dead, those did have some very long multiple volume arcs, but it's kind of hard to justify like a YA graphic novel when you're only in the second book and it's like just kind of slowed down from the first one. So I don't know if I'll read a third one, but I'm kind of interested where this goes. I don't know. It might be not for me anymore. After that, I read The Fated Mate. This is by Lana Ferguson, and this was also part of that romance vlog. I had read The Nanny by this author and really enjoyed it, and so I thought that this would be a perfect second book to read by that author. I think it's only their second published work. I'm pretty sure they did some sort of fan fiction beforehand. But this is an Omega-verse type book where we have an alpha and omega dynamic between characters. Both of our characters are doctors and they have an office romance, kind of like a romance of convenience kind of thing. It's like a fake dating trope. I gave this one a 4 to 5 stars. I also read Betwixt, which is a horror anthology, I believe partially put together by Junji Ito. This is a manga, if you're not very familiar with Junji Ito, but there aren't, I will say this up front, there aren't any stories by Junji Ito. There's like a foreword by him, but the rest are by different authors from different parts of the world. And it was a horror anthology that just shows all this different lore, different weird hauntings and characters. I had a little fun with it though. I gave it a 4 to 5 stars. I think there was never really one story that like was astounding to me, which is why I didn't give it a full 5 stars. So I did also want to share some DNFs. I know I don't typically talk about those in my wrap-ups, but some of them pertain to the vlogs that I was reading, and just I wanted to talk about them. So the first one, which by the way, none of these I'm never going to continue reading, just for now. They just weren't what I wanted to read in the time that I started them. So I started Out There Screaming, which is the Jordan Peele horror anthology, and I read only the first story, so about 20 pages, and I just didn't like it, which kind of stunk because it was by N.K. Jemisin. Just a little confusing, but I will pick this up again sometime. Despite kind of like the mixed reviews I'm hearing about it, I am still really excited to eventually get to it. But for now, I am DNFing it. It was part of a vlog where I was going to read anthologies because I don't read my anthologies, and all it ended up doing was proving that I just don't really like anthologies very much, which kind of stinks. I also DNF'd another anthology, one that I've been trying to read for a few months, and this is Night of the Living Queers by edited by Shelley Page and Alex Brown. And this one I got quite a bit further in. I read up to page 84, and I just, again, there wasn't like any particular story that was catching me, and there were parts of stories that were really cool, but it just wasn't drawing me in enough to want to finish the vlog. Because again, these are both anthologies, they were both for the same vlog, but I just couldn't bring myself to do it. For a video, I did DNF Boys in the Valley, which kind of spoils that other video that I haven't posted yet. I didn't realize this was set in the early 1900s, and I am not a historical fiction kind of person. I'm great with historical fiction and movies, but for books, I just totally lose interest because I feel like every time I read one, the authors write it in a way that is just so distant in the past. Like it feels like too old for the time. I don't know. It just, I get thrown every time. So that's where we are. That's all the books that I read and DNF'd, which I don't usually count, in February. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know what you read in February, or if you've read any of these ones, if you had differing thoughts. I'd love to still talk with you about them. But if you also haven't already, please go check out the other vlogs where I talked about some of these books. I decided in February that I was going to kind of film a little bit more of the reading that I did, and I feel like it actually motivated me to obviously increase how many books I read. So it was a good month. I feel like it was pretty successful. So again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Oh.